how ready are we to move up the value chain and actually do or make these wafer chips? Are we that ready? How soon can we do it? Are people keen on investing? Are local Filipino businessmen keen on investing?
The jury's out. It's kind of half and half. When I came back in '96, I was asked, "Oh, let's build a wafer fab in the Philippines." Of course, having that experience under my belt, my first answer then was, "No way. You know, our power costs are too high, the logistics cost." But since then, I've changed my tune, not because we're not working on the operating costs, but really I don't see any, I guess, future for the electronics industry if we don't do this in terms of building a wafer fab. And why is that? Earlier you were talking about the China threat. Well, it goes beyond just our shores. It also spills over to electronics because I'm probably one of the few people who think that China may eventually extend its influence over Taiwan physically or economically. The reality is Taiwan supplies 70% of the world's wafers, and we depend on Taiwan for the wafers we import to the Philippines and do the assembly, test, and packaging to ship our $49 billion exports, right? And so if that is disrupted, then we're in big trouble. The 3 million direct and indirect workers, the 62%, it's 62%, not 58%, will be at risk. And so when Secretary Raimondo talked about doubling the chips, semiconductor chips capacity in the Philippines, they're referring to assembly, test, and packaging, which is really getting the wafers, doing the assembly, test, and packaging, and shipping the integrated circuits. That's good. I mean, even the...
But you want more.
Well, we want to move up the value chain because, and when I say move up the value chain, it starts with integrated circuit design. We have excellent Filipino designers, and we have about 6 design companies here. And so what's missing is, because today these designs go to Taiwan for the prototype builds. And if we lose that capacity in Taiwan, then there goes our assembly, test, packaging business. So what we need, so you have the IC design here, you have the back-end assembly, test, and packaging. You have a big gap in between, the wafer fab, right? And so we have a proposal, and I'm glad that Secretary goes on the same page. In fact, he named semiconductor industries among the top 5 industries prioritized by our government. And so what we hope to do, propose, is come up with a lab-scale wafer fab within the OSD, supported by DTI and, of course, even the legislators. And that will be able to provide us with a prototype capability for the integrated circuit design, but more importantly, to train our talent, our Filipino engineers, to get them ready for the bigger prospect of having a commercial wafer fab in the Philippines. And to do that, because you hear, you know, the US government talk about semiconductor supply chain security. Well, like I said, if we lose that security in Taiwan, then there goes our business. So what we want to do is minimize our dependence on Taiwan's wafers and build our own. And so that's what I've been trying to convince our government and whoever listens from the US government, whether it's Secretary Raimondo or whoever, and redefine their idea of semiconductor supply chain security to include wafer fab. The CHIPS Act will allocate something like $500 million among 7 countries, and the Philippines will get a big chunk of that for energy worker upskilling, and semiconductors. Unfortunately, it's in assembly, test, and packaging. So I'm trying to redirect.
How much would it cost to build a wafer fabrication facility?
It depends, because the most advanced technology, talking about 5 to 2 nanometers, would be about 15 to 20 billion dollars. What we're proposing is a modest budget of 500 million for a prototype fab in the Philippines. Not the nano range, but maybe 1 to 5 microns. So that's a good start to get our feet wet and, you know, get our talent trained.